No problem.
Yeah,
so one person watching from Twitch, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, it's weird how trading kind of works like that. So, and also this year I haven't spent anything on prop firm accounts because I got the refunds back. So that's all pure profit, which is
yeah,
quite
you have
nice.
me beat there. I spent it total. I haven't done yet, Pip-T, but I think it was about 19,000.
Okay, sure.
Maybe 19 to 21 in that range.
On my FTMO accounts, when you take a first payout, I think you get the refund back. So I spent the money originally. I think it was like 1.6, but then when you get the first payout, they give you the refund back, which is pretty cool. So essentially, I spent nothing essentially. Yeah,
very nice.
But I was building that momentum into. Obviously, I had a great March, and February I was traveling a lot. I only did 4K in payouts in Feb, but March really built momentum to end Q1 strong. So we'll see what Q2 brings. I'm sure there's going to be, at least we're getting out of the range, which on the NASDAQ,
I won't say it too soon. It's the same as talking about Bitcoin. This will probably snap right back up, same it did in April.
Yeah.
It's looking eerily similar to what happened in April of 2025. So, I mean, if we hit the same 13% day up on April 9th next week. Also, just to let you know, James, the market is closed on Friday, if you didn't know.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to trade on Friday. I saw my broker as well, for my personal account, they're going to close early at like 10:15 Eastern. So I'm probably not going to trade on Friday. I'm not going to look for a trade in 30 minutes and then, yeah.
Yeah, Pip-T, it would be a lot better if I didn't spend so much. I went on a little dry streak since like the second week of March. Those last 2 weeks of March were really difficult for me. Mainly because
it's part of the process.
Yeah. Losing Lucid accounts didn't help, but mainly because I was churning accounts trying to pass them so fast, which is a beginner habit that I let slip back in. So that made me spend like another probably almost 4,000. Unfortunately, but even like with my funded futures, had I spent, let's say 5,000, I can make all that back with one payout.
Sure.
Which I can take whenever right now. 5K spend, 18,000 total profit. Awesome. And you just started trading in November, which is disgusting.
Yeah, so I got lucky. I mean, I'll take the luck. Any luck in this game, I'll take. Zinc. This was my trade, pre-market. So I got in. I got in at a good level. Let's get that up. So I got in at a good level, like the pullback, and then obviously that new spark tags me in my take profit. So I'll call it luck. I'll take on the new spark pre-market 100%. So I'm up on the day now, 1.7. I'll have to wait for my trades at a time.
Very nice.
Yeah.
1.7K or 170?
1.7K, yeah.
You animal.
What was that news?
It was something about to do with the Strait of Hormuz. So
did you use Financial Juice to find that?
I did.
This guy's the secret investor of Financial Juice.
You're going to make some people very happy with those buttons today, Andre. I'm sure he'll be in here soon.
Yeah. I hope so. I actually changed my shirt because I'm not a fan of the other one that I have. I actually don't like shirts that have the buttons here. So I keep the collar down. So I had one on before and I was like, you know what, I'm going to change it. But I also got a new monitor. So I'm going to be looking over here now, not over there. So we'll see how weird this gets.
There you go. I think it's updated now. There we go.
Nice.
We got the market open too now.
Yeah.
So I am, as I covered, I'm looking for a move down to that outside day, previous day high. And then that may be it for today. We don't really have that good of a chance of a gap fill. I don't know if you looked at yesterday at all, Andre, but someone in chat wrote out for the initial bounce on the edgeful AI said yesterday's outcome was a 6% chance.
It happens. You know, like it happens. It's a lot of people see a 90, 85% chance and they're like, oh, this is a lock. And there's no lock, like there are no locks. Like you don't want to be pushing your whole account when something is a high probability, or like has a high stat, because sometimes it just doesn't work. And like, you can't blow up your account on days that don't work. One sec. Oh, you guys got that music again?
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. On Monday.
Zinc,
I had it like way too loud in the beginning, and I was like, dude, we can't do this.
I have it at, just so you know, for future reference.
Yeah.
I have it set at 10.
Oh, 10. Okay, sick.
James had it like 70.
No, it's just the default. It was 50. It was 50. Sorry, Andre, my hearing's not as good as yours then, clearly. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a push here on ES. We're trading above the daily VWAP right now, so.
I mean, we may not hit that outside day stat. I just didn't want to see that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, we
gold's
opened up
having a decent recovery as well. Sensei, if he's in here, he's not. He did a pretty nice article yesterday, or shared a pretty nice article yesterday. So gold's been dropping as much as it has been because in the past 2 weeks, there's been, I think he said $10 trillion, which
sounds like a lot.
Again, numbers that we can't even fathom.
Yeah.
Scroll up to it. $10 trillion worth of liquidation from pretty much every country there is on their gold reserves to cover the power shock right now.
Wow. What's going on with the power stuff?
Just the oil coming out of Iran and the Strait of
Hormuz. For some reason, I was thinking, my mind like immediately went to like solar and like that, but.
They're doing it to support their local currencies due to global energy shock due to the war. Gold always rips during armed conflicts historically. See, it's not just me, guys. The keyboards are hard to deafen.
Oh, that's me?
They told me I had a typewriter.
I'm like raging on Slack right now. But
what's going on, Sensei?
Right here is the best keyboard ever created. I'm gonna rage a lot of people. Also, best mouse ever created is right here. You post this on Twitter that this is the best mouse ever. The amount of rage that people feel is actually hard to believe.
Yeah, it's easy to get under my skin a little bit there too, but
you don't like this? You don't like this?
No, I've always been a PC.
Is it the Logitech one?
No, I have actually don't know the brand. Republic of Gamers.
Yeah.
I've had this one since I got my PC.
I'm confused. I've got a Mac, everything, Apple, everything except my trading desk is a PC.
PCs are better.
Oh, dude, I hate PCs. I will never use a PC.
There, Maximus said, I blew my accounts using edgeful because I blindly believed in the stats, and because this is actually one of the bad jokes for April Fool's Day, I blew my accounts up.
April Fool's, guys. I'm not going to do any crazy April Fool's stuff, by the way.
I thought, waking up this morning, I thought that stuff from Tradeovate was April Fool's.
I don't think that they would. I don't think they would do that.
You want the stats for resets from yesterday, James? I know you like hearing that.
I'm going to guess yesterday, people trying to short a massive move off the highs. It's an old classic. I'm going to go 220.
So I had 86 from Tradeify.
Okay.
20 from My Funded Futures, 126 from Lucid all afternoon yesterday.
So 220.
Yep.
220. Yep.
Spot on. This is the giveaway April Fool's now. No, it's not.
Oh my God.
It's a classic. On a trend day, traders love to fight the trend instead of just buy and let it do its thing.
It's disgusting. Yeah, that was after 12:15 yesterday.
Wow.
And I'm just a little affiliated for them. So imagine the guys like I always say PJ because he's probably one of the better one of the top ones for Lucid.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or just think about how much the prop firm itself made yesterday off of resets.
Yeah.
Doing absolutely nothing. Trend days, I cannot emphasize it enough, especially with gold. Well, I can't really look at it in the 24-hour, but when gold is moving in a direction like it is right now, it does not. Sometimes it retraces the 50%, but that will take several hours like it did on Friday last week. When you're going in one direction, it is going to continue going that direction longer than you could fathom. So if you are the person that, like yesterday, what would we close up to? Almost 3%, 4%. Holy smokes! What was it? 3.3 on the 24-hour is 4.3. If you were the person that thinks that you get to a 2% move and that's enough, and no way it's going to be able to go higher than that, you have to switch that entire bias out of your head, or that thought process out of your head. Is anyone having trouble loading onto Tradeify dashboard? I haven't logged into it yet today. Lucid's dashboard's had a little bit of downtime this morning, but it's better than them going down every week like they used to. I've seen so many people blow accounts, and I was there several years ago too, but now that I actually go with the trend most times, especially on TikTok lives, if you go on TikTok at night and you see the TikTok traders that are trading gold and they're constantly trying to short the top, and then gold pushes another 100 points and they blow like 6 accounts in the process and then just end the stream. That's the mindset that you need to lose right now. How many moves would you guys say, James and Andre, that you've seen that you've like thought to yourself, no way, this is going higher, then it's pushed another 2%?
So I think that those are like the most difficult days to trade. For me, I think that those days are the worst because like, I don't, like maybe James knows a little bit more, but like if I don't get a pullback into some area where I can like have a valid stop, I'm like itching to take a trade, and I'm just getting like more and more aggravated as it like goes in the direction that I was hoping for. And like on those days when it just continues to like the days where if you put like a 9 and 20 EMA and it's just riding it all day, like those types of days, I am the worst with. Because I also never catch the move like I never catch the whole move anyway, because that's not like I don't like to hold for those giant moves. So I think that those days are the worst. Also, like predicting those days are so tough.
Yeah, it's very gold's a little bit easier, I think, but for the NASDAQ, like yesterday, it pushed up 3, almost 4% to close. Yeah. It's very difficult for you, like right now, for example, this 15-minute opening candle. A little bit different, but it's very difficult for you to go and say, I'm going to long right now while it's at the top of this 15-minute candle. and expect it to go higher. But what I've been enjoying I actually love trend days. Those are my favorite ones. I usually just enter whenever I see it. So for yesterday afternoon, great example, 2 o'clock all the way until close. I'll enter when I see a red candle on either the 5-minute or it wicks down the 15-minute. And then I'll put like a 20 to 40, sometimes 50 point stop loss, depending on the size. If I do 1 M&Q, it's usually 50 points.
Yeah.
And then I stop after I lose twice. But for the most part, those days I'll enter. Won't really have a PT for it to go to, but just expecting it to go higher. I'll exit when I'm happy with the profit, and then I'll re-enter on a pullback.
I've been embracing my inner Andre trading, quick in and out trades.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's, at least more recently, I've found it very difficult for myself to, like, all my runners, all my like second or third TPs just like don't get hit, and like my runners always get stopped at break even. I'm just like, I might as well just take it off earlier and take the whole position off and like capture a bigger move, because TP2 or TP3, I'm actually making less money on those because I'm closing for, like, if I'm trading ES, like 2 points or whatever. If I'm trading NQ, it's like 5 points or practically break even after fees and commission. It's like, it's just like I haven't been able to figure out a nice formula for leaving runners, at least more recently.
Yeah, it's a really difficult thing to do. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but on the My Funded segment, which you might talk to Magnus a little bit when you go in there, or if you go in there, he pointed me towards a really cool article regarding moving your stops to break even or runners. So let's say you have this position open right now. It's just a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
You're anticipating a break to X level. When you move your stop up, you're not de-risking. Same thing with when you take runners on the trade, which is, I think, what a huge struggle comes from with moving your stop loss. You're not altering your trade to break even. What you're doing is you're entering another set of trades with the stop loss looking like that. So let's say you're like 80% of the TP. It's called evolving RR.
By the way,
really
Zinc,
cool
we might
article.
Get this. We might get that outside days.
Oh, is it coming back down? Nice.
Yeah.
High was made first.
Sorry, continue.
You're all good. So when you move your stop to break even and you're up, let's say 180 on the position, your stop isn't going to break even. You're risking the 180 to make another $30 or whatever your full TP is. And then you're risking the 180 on that trade. So you turn a good trade into a negative RR trade waiting to capitalize on the additional profit. If you move your stop up, that is.
If you don't add.
Correct. So if you add, then it turns into something like that.
Yeah.
And then it'll be fine. But you also have to move your stop up with it. Not saying it's a bad thing at all. It's just a really cool. I've been stopped a lot of times at break even when I move my stop loss to break even, trying to de-risk. And then he pointed me in the direction of an article regarding evolving RR. What's going on, Arvin? Yeah, you can have go ahead, James.
No, on that trade from pre-market, someone told me I should go to the casino because someone's on my side.
You can have either James or Andre talk about their algos.
Yeah.
James, if you want to start, I can add to it.
Sure. Yeah, let me get my screen up and then I can speak about it. Just give me a second. Okay. So basically what the algos are is it's an automated strategy based on backtested data. It doesn't guarantee future results, obviously, but I've got my settings that you can go and backtest and that you like. I'm not going to give away my settings, obviously. There's videos on edgeful that you can go and do all the testing. Andre and I speak about certain settings. You know, I know Andre's got his running sometimes on gold and so forth like that. But basically what this does is I use Then I have it on the NASDAQ and on the DAX. And what it does is it will take a trade based on the settings that I've selected because I like the data, backtest the data, and it plugs directly into your Project X accounts or NinjaTrader or TraderVate accounts. I've got it running on a personal account, so it gives you emails as well as notifications directly to your phone. So I take trades manually on my personal account, and then I do have an EA that's plugged in. That's a whole nother story though, but on MT5 based on my backtest results. And essentially what it is that it's allowing me, especially when I'm traveling, or it adds another part of my portfolio to my day trading, right? I've got my discretional trading, but then I've also got a backtested proven strategy that I like to run as another part, because everyone knows this as a fact. Trading can get emotional at times. We're going to make mistakes. No one's perfect as a human, but basically what the algos do is they will take the exact trades depending on my stop levels, take profit levels that I select. And as you can see yesterday, actually on stream, it took a long, and I think last week was 4 out of 5 on stream here. So Monday didn't take a trade because I don't have shorts on a Monday, but that's a setting that you can choose. But essentially everything is in the back end for you on edgeful, how to set them up, how to back test them, and how to basically plug and play. It's a plug and play system. So that's my take on the algos. I really enjoy it because it gives me another part of my trading. Andre, you can give it some more detail.
I definitely agree with pretty much like everything James said there about how it eliminates the emotional trading. But the only, let me just show you guys quickly. All right. So when you're in edgeful, the algos are over here in this left sidebar, right over here. I'm going to close that, or I'll leave it open actually. There's obviously the get started. The get started has setting expectations. Just because you're using an algo does not mean that you're going to be printing money out of the sky. Obviously, this video explains that. It goes over, like, it does require ongoing work. It does require like you to actually look at it. If there is anyone on the planet that's telling you that you can just buy this thing and you're going to start to make money out of the sky, they're lying, obviously, because that doesn't exist. So I actually made this video so people don't have, whether their friend told them that they're making so much money with the algos or whatever else, like we always want to have at least like some sort of like buffer for everyone to come in and watch this. Then everything is done on TradingView. We don't have, I see a comment about NinjaTrader. We don't have a NinjaTrader solution right now, but it's all built into TradingView. The back tester, the access, everything else is on TradingView. All the updates, like I always push updates to the algos. They're also done automatically in TradingView as well. So as I update them, you guys will all get notified with the updates, what they are and everything else. Like last night, I just added to the IB algo an entry cutoff time, which I'll touch on in a second. Then we call it the recommended algo. These change over time, but right now the IB is a really nice one. We also we might just like have a couple in here just because we do have, I think, 7 algos now. But this video, I'll just kind of scrub through it quickly. What I do here is I go over like what the algo is and like how it works. And it's like a full explainer. So if you actually watch this video, like you'll know exactly how it works. It's not a black box. We don't do any like secret algo stuff. Like you know exactly why you're getting into every single trade, every single time. Like you decide the entry, the stop loss, the profit target, the risk reward, the win rate. You decide like literally everything. And we don't do any like black box type algos. Now, we just actually built the algo analyzer. So from TradingView, you can download the back test and you can upload it here. So in this, I'll just play this quick and you can see, which I'm going to show you guys in a second. Actually, I'll do that. We have an algo analyzer. So when you download a back test from TradingView, instead of having to go in Excel and like deal with Excel at all, you just download the back test, upload it into here, and now you get all of the data about the strategy that you're looking at. So this is the ES 5-minute orb. This is like not optimized, but over the last like 5 months or so, returned $9,000, 72% win rate, 1.6 profit factor, 90 trades. You can see the equity curve here. and you can see the monthly performance. You can see the strategy health. This is actually one of the most important sections because it will tell you, like for example here, concentration risk. If your algo, if like 80% of the performance is driven by like 5 giant winners, yes, it's still profitable, but it's very unlikely that that's going to continue. You're relying too much on like these Grand Slam days. The performance decay. So also like if all the performance comes from the beginning of the backtest, you'll be able to see that here. Then going down, it'll tell you what your worst weekdays are. So as James said, he doesn't have Monday short on his algo. You can see for this specifically, Thursdays long are actually very bad. You can see it took 5 trades with a 40% win rate. Friday short, 8 trades with a 50% win rate, net negative P&L. So obviously you don't want to be looking at these days here. You don't want to be trading those days. You can also see a full breakdown of the direction or the weekday and the direction. So you can see Mondays are very strong. Tuesdays short are pretty strong. Tuesdays long is break even. You can see Fridays short are negative and Thursdays long are negative. Going down, you can automatically see, so every single trade, there is a point of drawdown that it will go into where it's like practically guaranteed to be a losing trade. So if you know that $800 is like that tipping point where if it crosses $800, it's virtually guaranteed to be a loser. Why would you let it run beyond that? That's what this tells you automatically with any strategy that you upload. So whether it's on YM, RTY, GC, ES, NQ, whatever, it'll tell you every single time. And then that's the analyzer piece. So like the optimization is gonna be very simple for you to do. And the last thing that I'm gonna say here is that we also have templates. The algo templates we have, so you can see orb algo settings we have for MES 5-minute orb, MES 15-minute orb, MNQ 5-minute orb, IB algo settings, IB break-even settings, and engulfing candle settings. Each of these are templated settings that you can use to have a really good foundation to start with your algo yourself. And you can see these are templates. They're not a finished strategy. You can take the settings that are in here, put them into your algo on TradingView, and then you have a really good foundation to start. So I hope that was helpful. We also have the algo education section. These are all the algos we have right here. You can watch all these videos, but yeah. So
our PMI came in somewhat bullish.
Pulled up your stream.
Did unfortunately wick down and make a new low and SPY for the IB. So if this doesn't happen to go and take a new high or low in the next 37 minutes, then no trade on this today. It should go and take hopefully a new high. It's not a very large range so far. But
I am going to get another coffee. But Arvin, can I trade multiple accounts with the same algo? So you can connect, which we probably should limit, to be honest. But you can connect as many accounts as you want to edgeful. We're probably, realistically, we are going to add a limit because it's just like a lot. So like some people have like 30 accounts connected. But you can connect as many accounts as you want. You can also create as many like strategies as you want. You can have as many algos as you want, but you can't trade in one account 2 different algos on the same ticker. So just to briefly explain, if you're trading only NQ and in one account and one algo says to go long and it hasn't hit your profit target or stop loss yet, so now you're long, and another algo says, let's say you have the orb and it says to go short, it's going to close your initial position because you're still trading the same ticker. So there's a buy signal, there's like a buy alert that gets sent and then a sell alert that gets sent. So your position is going to be flat and it's not going to work. So as long you can trade as many algos as you want, as long as they're not on the same ticker in the same account, if that makes sense. You can also ask our support, like we'll explain exactly how everything works if it's like confusing right now, but you can connect multiple accounts and it kind of like serves the purpose of like the trade syncer, but only through automated trades, not like any discretionary trades, just so you know. There you go. All right, now I'm gonna get my coffee.
We have ISM in 5 minutes as well. I'm not sure if you're looking at anything, James.
No, I'm we're stuck inside the range at the moment on ES and NQ, so I'm really not looking at much.
Pretty gross so far. YM too. YM is actually break even. 90% of brokers expose your orders to market makers. Interactive broker does not. What brokers do you guys recommend? I think Peter, what's his name? Peter Lynch disproved that, said that market makers don't look at retail orders.
What a question there for you, Zinc, about the outside days.
So the outside days are referring to days that open outside of previous days' New York range. For yesterday's low during New York session, it was at 10:45. The high was at 3:45 right at close. We opened outside, so today's price is opening above previous day's high. So the outside day stat is telling us that price should retrace down to previous day's high or previous day's low. In today's case, it's a bullish outside day, so we have a 69% chance price reverses down and takes previous day's high, which is why I'm looking for both SPY and Qs to go and hit that. Also, another question I just saw was for SPY and QQQ. I am not trading these. DIA is YM, SPY is ES, and QQQ is NQ. These ones have a little bit more accurate data. They don't have slippage. So these charts are it's marginal, but they are a little bit more accurate than looking at NQ for some of the reports that I use on edgeful.
Yeah. So I'll go to NQ in the last 6 months in the New York session. As if we open up as a bullish outside day, 71% chance that we reverse back down and touch that previous day's highs.
And then it's saying 68 on Q. So there's been probably one day where it hasn't had that slippage.
So just one thing, just to be clear on what like that accuracy means. Everything is calculated correctly. It's that sometimes ES will touch the previous day's high and then SPY will not. So it's not that the calculations are different, but that the actual price movements are different. So in the case of why there might be a discrepancy between SPY and ES, even though they're tracking the S&P 500, is because the actual price movements are different. The same thing goes for MES and ES. A lot of people don't really know, but MES and ES don't move the same to the tick. So sometimes like the high of day will be at 5,500 even, and then on ES, it'll be at 5,575 cents. So just to be clear on the accuracy piece, it's because of the price movements, the calculations are not actually different.
It's not edgeful's fault.
Pretty much.
It's the market's the most that I've seen recently, we actually had one last week with NQ taking the IB low and QQQ not. It was 12 points.
Whoa.
It was on OPEC, so it may have been some issue with that, but it was 12 points on NQ. It swept the low by a pretty large wick on NQ, and then QQQ. I think it might have been on Friday last week. QQQ did not. I've had a handful of losses on ES because of that. One of them I still have charted on my chart with SPY. ES went and took the low. ES did not, and then it ended up going and breaking the high. So a handful of losses was enough. There it is right here. So this was our IB range. IB high formed. IB low. IB low formed first at 9:30. IB high formed second, so targeting the high. This was the trade. MES went and swept the low. So this was like 9 cents on SPY. I think it was 3 points on MES was the slippage. And then ES and SPY went and took the high. MES did not. So I think it's worth it using one ticker. I like using SPY, QQQ, and then DIA for the YM. We are currently not lined up, and I have this saved on edgeful AI for this very reason. So why we do not take trades on days that they don't line up. It only happens 0 out of 7, 7 out of 127 data points.
Yeah.
You have a 0% chance. Go ahead.
You see on the chat on the left side, that 3 dots?
Yep.
Vertical. So you could pin that. You can also rename it if you want. So if you have a lot of chats, you can always pin it and rename it, just so everyone knows you can do that. Now, the thing that, just so you know, the report in here is not going to update every day in edgeful AI. So you can see on the bottom, it says 317.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to do this technically. You'd have to do it again and ask the same question, because the way that edgeful AI works is like you pick the date range, it downloads it like runs the report, and then you layer the AI on top of that report. So the report generation has no AI in it, but then you layer the AI on top of it. So just so you know,
I figured.
Well, you'd have to. I mean, we need to fix this experience actually. So if you
copy and pasted all of my prompts into a separate channel, so I can just reuse them. There's our data, by the way. If
you click on Analyze Reports again, and then just pick the same, because the date range is the part that needs to trail. So you just need to like Okay. Yeah, just do that one more time. And give it a second. Now paste that prompt in again. Now it'll be updated.
Nice. Should still be about 0 out of 7.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be the same, but.
Yep, 0 out of 7 still.
Yeah.
7 divergence.
So would you actually prefer? The thing is that if you think through like kind of how this works, if you did something in January and then you revisit that chat from January, would you want it to have different results today? Like if you went back to that chat, like.
I like that it saves it. I don't mind copying and pasting it over. I think it's important that it stays the same from when you looked at it.
Yeah, that's the part
don't go
that
back in and it says, like, you remember that it says 0 out of 7. If I went back in and now all of a sudden it says 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 7, I think it's okay that it's saved as the report.
Like at the time that you ran it.
Yep.
Because we wouldn't be able to change what the chat actually said. Like we don't have control on like what Claude writes here. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you have to go through and then click analyze again, add the report as a new report, like in that experience, I mean, we just did it took like 1 second, but like, do you think that that's a fine experience for you?
Yeah, I think this is fine. I don't mind it.
Okay.
Question from Brendan. Zinc, would you still look for shorts at previous day's high if IB closes bullish? No, I wouldn't, because if the IB closes bullish, what this would essentially mean is that one of the stats is lying to us. So either the outside day stat's not going to work today or the IB is not going to work today. I do trust the IB a little bit more. If it closes bullish, first off, right now, these are not synced. They're diverged on SPY and Qs. This is one of the weakest ranges I've seen over the past 2 weeks on SPY. So wouldn't really be all that inclined to take it anyway. If this closes bullish on Qs, we have about a 76% chance. I'll pull it up on, go over to the reports, pull it up on IB by rejection for a Wednesday. So it has about a 78% chance that we go and break the high, which is currently at 584. Or if we look at outside days, it has a 68% chance that price comes down and hits previous day's high at 578.60. The reason I wouldn't be anticipating both if it closes bullish is because the IB itself only has a 16% chance of having a double break. So if it breaks the high, which it should, we only have a 16% chance that price comes down and hits 580.43. That's not combined with the 68% chance. So this is a worse measure for us to go and hit outside day. If it does happen, yesterday we did have a double break. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the stream as well, there's no such thing as a triple break. Andre, you can validate that.
Correct.
It measures 2 breaks.
So the way that the double break works It's very simple. You get the IB range, and then is the high of day higher and is the low of day lower than the IB range? It doesn't matter the sequence. It doesn't matter if it's the low and then the high and then the low, the whatever, then the whatever. It's is the high of day after 10:30 higher than the IB high, and is the low of day after 10:30 or whatever IB range you have set lower than the IB low. That's it. So it can break 800 times, and what we're measuring is exactly what I just said. We're looking for a high of day and a low of day that is out, like engulfing pretty much the IB range.
Yep. So I did see a tweet yesterday. Someone was saying that we had a triple breakout, which they also just referred to it as a 16% chance. Doesn't matter how many, as Andre just said, doesn't matter how many times it breaks the high and low. It's just counted as a double break either way.
Correct. And that is the actual, we've actually gotten a lot of requests to do like more breaks. But if you just scroll back to yesterday and you go to like a 5 minute or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's a terrible example.
It broke by 1 penny to the downside for the double break, and then it went and broke the high again.
Pretty much the days where price consolidates at the IB high or low, sorry,
mm-hmm.
are the days where it would like completely break the report.
Yeah.
So if price is just sitting and consolidating on like a 1 minute chart, up and down, up and down, let's see it. Even that one, there you go. Even if you go to a 1 minute chart, there are probably 10 candles that close inside and outside and inside and outside back around that IB range.
Yep.
So now how many breaks is that? And then is the result of that calculate like here? Like, is that even?
So just in this time frame, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Exactly. So in this case, this day is going to skew the data so high, right? Because you're going to count how many times it breaks. It's going to skew the data so high, but in reality, it's not useful.
There's
that's the difficult piece. There's another one, like how many times does it break? Well, like how are you counting the break?
Yeah.
So
hopefully we're going to take a new high.
I don't like this price action at all right now.
No, I don't. It's not looking good for SPY to go take a new high. And I mean, it's got 14 minutes, but I think we're also pretty exhausted after a move that we had over the past 2 days.
Yeah.
And this is going to be, I'm going to pull it up again because it's one of my favorite slides I made. Just a minute.
Hey, we got Coach Carter with the slides. I love it.
You're gonna love this.
I love visual like representation of things. I'm like a visual learner.
Yeah. I had one of my kids yesterday for baseball practice. He missed a week because he was gone for his mom took him on vacation, and had him do a Coach Carter like thing. His team members decided on him doing like 200 or 100 push-ups, like 3 miles worth of running, and then wall sits. Yeah. So this is
a great movie, by the way.
It's a great.
Yeah, that's a very good movie.
Great movie.
These are and have always been the phases of the market. You either have bearish, consolidation, or bullish. That's it. Typically, after you have a pretty explosive move, which we've had this week, same thing for last week as well, if you want to call that the explosive move down. Friday really didn't do much. After hours, we did have that continuation down because we had news from Iran. But had we not had that news at noon, it looked like it was just going to consolidate. So with this move up right now, it should be expected that we have some sideways movement, which today could very well be it. We also have Friday closed. Probably not going to, we don't want to trade consolidation, which James already just said right there. You're not liking it, so you may not trade it. Consolidation is when you churn accounts or make terrible trades because you're looking for just a little bit of profit. You get your move up $60 in the direction you're looking for, and then price does exactly what it's doing right now. It doesn't stay directional. you end up taking a loss, and then you switch direction, or you take another trade targeting 200, you lose 200 on that. You take a third trade targeting 200, you lose 200 on that. By the time you get to that fourth or fifth trade, for most people, they no longer have a stop loss on it. So consolidation, yes, we've had some movement pre-market, but really since we opened at 430, we haven't moved at all. The current range we have right now is also the smallest one we've had in over 2 weeks. On SPY, this isn't even breaking 20 points. For dollar amount, it's $3 on SPY right now from high to low. Your entry at 50% for the IB is probably going to be maybe a 9 to 10 point reward. Not really worth it. So just avoid the consolidation periods like this.
Dude, James, you got the trade of the day.
You did.
I know.
You got the trade of the day.
I won't lie. When I do have like pre-market moves like this, I feel a lot more chill going to the open because I'm like, listen, I can size down now and basically play with profits for the rest of the day. So
yeah, that's disgusting.
Trade of the day by luck.
Pipty said, speaking of news, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say,
call it luck or call it whatever you want. I was in the trade, it popped for me. I closed I was aggressive in the profit taking, tag my profits. I'm out.
I'll show you some luck. This was luck last night. Again. 2 micros for 205.
Was that a catalyst, like news?
Yeah. Hell if I know, man. I just entered the right time. The one that I was lucky on this week, I think I saw you like that post on X, Andre.
Yeah.
I entered 1 micro at 23,000 thinking we were going to get like a 30-point bounce off a psych level. And it pushes up 400 points over the course of an hour. And I caught like half of it up to 23,260. So 1 micro ended up making me almost $600.
Yeah, that's crazy,
luck.
Actually. That's crazy, actually.
That does not always happen, but
yeah,
when it does, it's very much appreciated. Yeah, I wish we could enter just before Trump's about to say something. Well, this is a little welcome back to the stream for Andre after.
Dude, I did the buttons. I did no buttons. I have the shirt open. Like, come on, guys. Like, let's bring this price. Let's get some exciting price action here.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good visual representation of what you had there, Zinc. Like, you can't expect much after a 3% move yesterday. Price needs to settle. Yeah.
I think we talked about this last week, too, when we had that 800-point Monday candle.
Yeah,
pre-market
exactly
candle NFQ from last week.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, on stream.
And it took probably 2 days for us to correct that. Sergio, I wanted to save your question. So you saw a video. I did it. My goal for the year was 180,000 in prop payouts, and I'm already over half of that in the first quarter.
Legend.
So I'm not changing anything that I'm doing. I'm not moving the target up. I'm going to leave it where it is because this isn't going to stay consistent for the rest of the year. I know that for a fact. I'm due to have either a bad quarter or a bad month or a bad 2 weeks like I did last week. Trading it's not a directional. You do have a growth curve regardless of your trading strategy, but if you go and look like any of those algos that Andre just pulled up, they're all going to have periods of drawdown a little bit.
100%.
So yes, I made 93,000 for quarter 1 for payouts. Quarter 2, I could only make 20,000, and then quarter 3 ended up making, let's say, 110,000 for payouts. It's not a directional move. The market is going to provide with you, depending on how the current condition is.
Also, that ES orb that I was showing you guys, which is like partially part of the templates. The equity curve is beautiful. The returns are great. The win rate is great. The profit factor is really great. But January was red. January was a red month, even though it had that really nice equity curve, and the win rate is high, and the profit factor was 1.6, and all those great things, but it still had a red month in January. If you think that you're going to like unlock trading and you're never going to have a red month again, you are like severely mistaken. Like, I cannot even describe. I know James has been on like a crazy winning streak recently, but like that's very unusual.
Yeah, it's rare. You're not going to have every single day being green. I mean, I'll obviously take it when it comes. It's been a great start to the year, but to say that every single month's going to be like that would be ignorant to say that.
Yeah.
Yep. So just because you have a good week or a good month, sizing up too early or scaling too early is going to crush all of that. Need much more data.
100%.
That's why I don't like it when traders say, I want to make X amount of dollars per day. It's realistically, to do that over time, it's
that's how
tough.
prop firms get you on resets. Because you go off, you start your account with the idea that you need to make 500 a day to get the payout in the time frame you want. And then that one day that you don't make 500, you're going to try to push it to make 500, and then the account's gone. Well, we are still within the 5-minute opening range.
This is cash price action, bro. I got my trade of the day. I'm done.
Son of a bitch, Andre. Get out of here. Go make
it.
I think coffee.
also, Andre, that's something that I've been doing well on this green streak. Is like, let's say I have a trade like that. I'm not trying to do too much if I see price action like this later on in the day and give back unnecessarily.
Or knowing when to put
quick question. We have the recordings on, right?
We do. They are on.
God. Oh, beautiful. Okay.
It will only take 3 months to get it.
Dude. That's why I was raging on Slack before.
I did have an issue yesterday when I started the stream. I think it should be fixed because I didn't get the alert today. The storage yesterday was full.
I cleaned it up.
Awesome.
Yeah, I cleaned it up.
So I deleted one of my recordings from like February 12th.
Yeah, I just cleaned it up too. There should be more than enough now.
Yep. Oh man, just as I thought we were getting up there. This is like the first day that we were on stream together, Andre, with the IB.
Where?
Not only is it...
Oh, yeah. It was the worst day ever.
Yeah. Not only is this a god-awful range, but...
Yep.
They're diverged right now.
Yeah, this was like the first day. It was
SPY isn't even close to making a new high, and we have 12 minutes for it to get up there. This is the smallest range I've seen on the IB for weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe this.
Yeah, that first day I was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do these streams anymore. Maybe Zinc is better on his own.
Here's our IB range right here. So your max gain today is 14 points if you enter right at the 50, but they're not lined up. So this is a foot off the gas type of day. Not going to push it. Take the profit you've made and be happy. I can't even zoom in to take a screenshot of it because it's so small.
Yeah, this is not ideal, but also not a horrible day for option selling. Now, I am a little bit nervous, to be honest, about doing that because of catalysts. Because if there's a catalyst, like option selling, you get cooked, like you get like destroyed. So there's that. But yeah, if you sell options a day like this where it just goes up and down is pretty good.
Well, No trading from me tomorrow. We will be live, but it's the day before NFP, and I have a hard rule for not trading on NFP.
And that's
the day
called
before NFP. What do you think the reason for this morning's choppiness is? The size of the move that we've had for the past 2 days, it is a trend reversal as well. It's a pretty nasty V shape. You can go and gather the same thing from last April. We had obviously that 13% move up, then we retraced 50% of it, and then we did absolutely nothing for almost 2 weeks. We had 5 back-to-back doji candles, and then we started making a slow move to the upside. We had a 4% day yesterday on the 24-hour. I think it was 3.3 on the daily. That extended session was 4%. That's not a normal move. So after you have something like that, you can see the same thing from last week, Monday, March 23rd. After we had that, I think it was another 3% reversal. We were up, and then we were down, then we were back up. We had 2 doji days to follow. So big moves are typically followed by consolidation. That's the only reasoning that I would have behind this. We have 8 minutes for the SPY to go and take a new high. But I'm probably not going to. It's still within the 5-minute opening range, too. Would you, I think you just answered this, I might have missed it. Would you be interested in selling options even with Trump having the ability to tweet something that would move the market 2%?
No, that's the problem. That's the issue. Hold on one second.
I think it's okay for futures, but if you're trying to sell like SPX corridors or spreads.
The thing, if you're selling spreads on a day with a catalyst, if it goes in your favor, that's great. But like you don't want to sell options on days where there's like a potential catalyst. Now, there are going to be days where there's a tweet, there's a headline, there's something that comes out that's going to have an impact, but you don't want, if you know that there's going to be news, you absolutely do not want to be selling options on a day like that.
Yep. I think trading futures is fine when you're going to be in the position for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But if you're up 90% into close on your SPX spread, and then all of a sudden Trump says no more war, and we have a move like we did yesterday.
Yep.
And you go from up 90% to negative 200%.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone does sell options, hold on one second. If anyone does sell options, never, ever let your credit spread specifically go to max loss, ever. Because one max loss will take out 10 winning trades, assuming they go to full profit, which I also don't recommend letting them fully expire, because if there is something like yesterday, you're up 90-something% on the trade, and then in 1 second you're down 100%, it's like not worth it. Like that extra 5 or 10% of like the premiums, which are usually going to be like 5 or 10 cents per contract, which is like not worth it. Like I typically would recommend closing like somewhere in the ballpark of like 70% profit, but never ever letting it go to max loss. Like technically there's defined risk, but like that is not the stop loss that you should be taking.
My rule for when I do sell options, the first 50%, if that happens within a day, I usually do weekly ones, but manipulating it down to just a daily. If you get the first 50%, that's the easiest to make. The second 50% takes all the way until close.
Yeah, 100%.
Just the SPY was about to go and break that high. Qs did take a new high, but rejected right back down. Also, didn't you mention that Thursdays are the worst days for the algo to take a long?
Yes, but that's a 5-minute IB. That's the 5-minute orb.
Yeah, we're still within that 5-minute orb, though. We just almost broke it on Qs.
Yeah, so Thursday's long, which is what happened today. If you use the algo analyzer, for anyone who took that trade, Thursday's long, if you use the algo analyzer, you would have seen, I'll pull up my screen. God, it's like weird getting used to another screen here. So this is the ES 5-minute orb that we have. This is one other thing that's really interesting is that we not only have the analysis here, we have a Monte Carlo and also a prop firm sim. So the prop firm sim, what it does is we've pretty much loaded different accounts on different prop firms. So you can see how likely over the course. So what happens is we re-simulate, we reshuffle all the trades from your strategy into different sequence. And we run 1,000 simulations to see how often this strategy would pass an eval. So if you see, like I'll just go to a Lucid account, for example, this specific one, not optimized, if you look at 1,000 different, I'll make this bigger, 1 sec. 1,000 simulations passes 60% of the time. So that means that you're blowing 4 out of 10 accounts. So if you're blowing 4 accounts, you need to, like, this is one of the ways where you can set the right expectations of like, you are going to blow accounts because the sequence of trades that you get is not like, you don't control that. So the prop firm sim, I highly recommend that you guys look at this if you trade the algos with prop firms. And you can see, like in this case here, if you trade the 50K account, which has different rules, the rules are always going to be here. The pass rate is different. So 690 of the 1,000 simulations hit the profit target. This is so important. Zinc, you were actually talking about this before. You were saying that you were trying to pass the challenges very fast. Mm-hmm. The average number of trades to pass over the course of this 1,000 simulations is 20 trades, which for the orb algo is 20 days, which is 1 month. Because there's 5 trading days, assuming you trade every single day, that's 1 month. 5 trading days, 4 weeks. The single fastest path to pass of the 1,000 simulations is 6 trades. So if you're expecting to pass in less than 6 trades, you are delusional. Just to make that clear. And this is the not optimized version of the ES orb strategy. I just wanted to pull this up so you guys can see it. But you can also see down here, account survival curve, how many of the accounts are still active after a certain number of trades. So you can see after trade 10, 75% of the accounts are still active. After trade 20, only 33% of the accounts are still active. After trade 40, only 3.5% are still active in the simulation. So we have a like full FAQ down here, but if you guys want us to add other accounts, let us know so we can do that. But you can see how they change and whatever else, what the pass rates are based on the strategy. Now the Monte Carlo, pretty much the way that this works is it takes, again, all the trades and it reshuffles them in a different order to see, like, is this actually a good strategy or did you get lucky on the sequence of trades to get you that return? And you can see here, like, you can see what the, what the individual paths are for all 1,000 simulations. You can see the actual result. This is the median outcome, which is the middle of the 1,000. So the worst, these are actually really interesting. Worst 5% performers, which are going to be the ones down here. Your net P&L was call it $1,300. Even in the worst 5% of scenarios, you'd still end profitable. And then the best scenarios, this is like the best case scenario, is $16,000. So you actually ended up with 9,000, right? Right over here. Rough, call it whatever, 9,000. The top end of what you can expect is 16, almost 17,000. This is the only 5% of simulations did better than this. And then, so you can actually see it here. Then the final P&L distribution, just so you guys know like how this kind of works, is if you look, how many accounts ended between $17,500 and $19,000 of P&L? Only 23 out of the 1,000 simulations. Same thing goes for simulations where they were actually negative. 20 accounts out of 1,000 ended between minus 1,200 and plus 350. Obviously, you can see the most of the results, 14% of the results ended between 8,200 and 9,700. And then one last thing that I'll show you guys here is how likely is a draw, based on the 1,000 simulations, how likely is a drawdown of $1,000? Now, granted, we're looking at ES,
100%
not
chance.
this is ES, not MES. So it's 100% chance. But if you were to go to 10,000, very, very low. If you were to go to 5,000, 10% chance of hitting drawdown of 5K. If you go to 2,500, 65% chance of hitting $2,500 in drawdown.
Whoa, look at that move.
What
Yeah, gotcha.
That's funny, dude.
But yeah, so there's that.
I wonder how many people just jumped up to their screen.
You got me, dude. You got me.
That's
I was like, what happened? I'm pulling up your screen, Zinc.
IB is about to break the high on Qs, but again, these are diverged right now. This would be a day for 62 breaks, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Ricardo jumped. Dare Maximus. There's the IB.
I'm actually really surprised that price hasn't pulled back into the previous day's range.
We almost got it on SPY. We got very, very close. Missed it by just about $1.30.
Yeah.
So we can go back over to edgeful AI here. This should be updated. So for that IB I was just discussing, still 7 data points. So it's the same as the one from March 17th. When they're diverged, there is a 0% chance, 0 out of 7 outcomes, 7 over the past 6 months of data, that price will break the correct direction for both. So since Q's already broke the high, SPY should also probably go and break the high.
Yeah.
This would be a very slim chance that SPY goes and breaks the low at 653.
Yeah, it's crazy because the outside days seems like it's going to fail today.
Yeah. And then there was a question. Actually, I'll catch up on the ones I just saw. So for accounts that prop firms that allow algo trading is very few. So if you do, I think it would be beneficial in a personal account as opposed to a prop account. So you're not worried about getting banned, but you have to go and make sure you read through their frequently asked questions and rules to make sure they allow it. And then
so one of the things with that is, and I'm not telling you, do not intentionally break the terms of service of any of these companies. Obviously, don't do that. But I haven't heard of anyone getting banned for using any algos. I don't know if they haven't told us. Maybe they read the terms of service and they gotten banned. A long time ago, there were certain companies that like republished their terms of service to be like, we don't allow automated trading. But you need to do your own research on what the terms of service is. And the reason that we don't actually recommend any, like that we say, here's the list of the ones that you can use, is because they changed the terms of service. So we actually used to have a list, and then they changed the terms of service, and we were like, you know what, we're not going to deal with like reading and maintaining the terms of service of like all these prop firms. Like, it's on you guys to figure it out. Also pretty easy to figure out.
the ones that usually get you for prop firms as well is they don't want algos that have high frequency trading. So the orb algo would be as bad because it's
only one trade per day. Yeah.
As long as you're not using an algo that's in and out of trades versus on like 10-second scalps, those are the ones that will get you banned right away. And then for a question, I saw Primrose or Pamrose, just stay away from Apex. Their new update on their end-to-day accounts is that you have to pass it in a month, and if you don't, then you have to reset your progress. So for that, yeah, they're going off the deep end. For that account, if you're using that ES algo and the average time to pass is 20 days or a month, the majority of those using the algo, you'll reset your progress. So very few times you'll actually pass it with the ES algo and
wow, that's crazy
circumstances.
Why do they care? Like what? Aren't they making like an absolutely disgusting amount of money that like they need to add that rule?
I think they actually are, because they've gotten rid of traders have definitely improved in trading and maybe not churning as much, but they don't make money off of commissions. They don't make money off of splits or profit splits. all their money is from resets and buying new accounts, because you keep, Steve, help me out here. I think you keep 30,000. Your first 30,000 you make per account you keep.
Okay.
So like Top Step, you get 10,000, and then any payouts after that, it's split at 90-10. Lucid, same thing, 90-10 after your first 10,000. That's in total. For Apex, it's your first 30,000. So they're only making money off of people buying and churning accounts. And then they just obviously added those live traders last week or last month. But they're kind of following the same path that I think it was FFN did, or FNF. One of the ones that closed down not too long ago. I don't think they will. I think they have enough money, but I always discuss Steve. He's been waiting about 2 months to get his 30K payout from them. Luckily, I squeezed mine in. They put him on a 90-day hold, as he just found out yesterday, for account churning, or saying that he was on a flag watch list for gambling, account churning, too many MAE violations. There's just a whole bunch of rules that prevent you from getting payouts with them.
Wow. Also, I think that they have, I mean, I don't know them. I don't have any, like, I have no affiliation with them at all. Like, I don't have any like positive or negative things to say about them, but the account type that they have, where you're in the middle of a trade, and if it goes in your favor, your drawdown comes up. And if you stop out at break even, it could like count as a loss.
Trailing intraday drawdown.
That, I cannot believe that they do that.
They did get rid of it. That's on the legacy accounts. All their accounts moving forward are end of day. These My Funded Rapids have that though.
That's crazy, dude.
So these ones have been very difficult, which I think is why I also churned quite a few of them. I only had $1,000 in drawdown on these.
You know, we have an IB algo, and it's not the IB by rejection. Like, it's not the strategy that you trade, but we have an IB algo, and it's a break and retest of the IB. It doesn't really matter, but we added the ability to fully backtest, automatically moving your stop to break even or into profit after price moves a certain amount in your favor. What you notice is that you need to give it so much more room to breathe than you think. Like, moving your stop to break even after price hits like whatever your TP1. I know the settings will be different for everyone, but it ruins the performance.
Yeah.
Like, giving those trades more room to breathe, like going into like having run up and then going back to break even, is actually one of the ways that you can make more money consistently. Like, moving your stops up to break even too quickly is almost always going to hurt you. And the IB break even algo is one of the easiest ways to be able to see like the actual result of the negative performance of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want,
what are you pulling up here?
Just mentioned this at the beginning of the stream. If you remember the evolving RR,
yeah,
that's exactly what you just mentioned. So it's a winning prop firm model that when you move your trade, or that's the trailing intraday drawdown, you're constantly recalculating your risk as the position progresses.
Yeah.
And this is a decent video on, I wouldn't watch this one, but the article is from TradingView, or you can read the one that's from Medium. These all talk about if you move your trade up to break even. Maybe today would be a good example. Also, look at that big old FU candle right there for anyone that was short. That's why I just went and took the high. Say you were in a long right now, exactly what you were just talking about, Andre, and you move your stop to break even. That wick gets you out of your position. So you were probably up, let's say, sounds like an algo just got taken.
Yeah, that's my old algo went off. Yeah.
If you were up 2R on that trade and then you move it to break even, now that trade's a break even trade as opposed to being up 2R. And because of that trailing intraday drawdown like these accounts have, you're technically going to be down 200 on the trade as opposed to being break even on the day.
Why do you buy those?
The benefits is there's no consistency on it, and there's no restriction on payout. So you can take a payout every day up to, you can take $100,000 payout if you want to. You could take a $500 payout. They were very difficult. I am over the buffer now, which is why I'm not taking the payout quite yet. But when I was passing them, like this trade, if I had taken it on, when was this? Tuesday night. If I went up 400, or better yet, yesterday's move, because it retraced quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
This trade, if I entered right at 23,550, it goes up to 23,860. So that's a 300-point move.
Yeah.
And then it retraces. Let's say I added into the position as well, because it's a winner. I'm adding into that winner. And then it retraces and I get stopped at break even. Even though I was up 600, that trade's going to be down 600 on the P&L now. And it was very difficult to pass these, but once you're over the buffer, it's essentially trading a live account. So there's no restrictions at all on it. But the benefit is I did the same thing on Apex. When I got that 30K payout, those were trailing intraday drawdown.
Yeah, that's insane. Like,
I don't mind them too much because I think, and if everyone went about this approach, it teaches you that sizing and securing your winners. Obviously, there's people that like having runners, like you mentioned this morning.
Yeah.
I think it's a great entry point for beginner traders because it shows you that you don't need to be super greedy on the positions that you have, and sizing small as well. A lot of people I see that come into trading, a lot of the people that just churn through, because with the YouTube streams especially, I recognize very few of the people that come in and then they're here for a week and then they're gone. They never come back again. You go on social media and you see someone that made $10,000 over 5 accounts. They had a $50,000 day because they were trading 15 NQ. You see that and you go and replicate the same thing, and then you're stuck on the path of trying to pass accounts using that same size, as opposed to using a model like on any of the orb algos or any of the algos on edgeful that you can size appropriately and you can build a growth curve, or you can get the profit right now today, which is what most people want to see. So I don't mind them in that aspect because I'm trading 1 micro on these. I'll have usually like 5 trades. If I lose those 5 trades in a row, the account's going to be gone. But if I size appropriately and I'm risking $100 per trade or $200 per trade, it's not too bad. And then the benefits, you see the benefits once you get out of that drawdown period.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with you though. They're extremely predatory for the rules they have.
You're like one of the only people I know that has like spoken positively about them, to be honest.
I don't really like them that much when I'm trading them and I go from a trade that's up 200 to break even, or it's up 200 and I only end up getting 100 out of it because I had to trail my stop. I freaking hate the accounts at that point. It's definitely another for scaling horizontally anyway. Adding accounts, these ones aren't that bad. And this is why I always recommend Lucid and Tradeify, especially the Lucid 25K Pros. Those ones have the easiest risk reward because it's end of day drawdown. You get to let your positions run. You can move your stop to break even if you're up 400 and have the trade go up 600. These are just another, because I'm a profitable trader, I know that my strategy is probably not going to lose too many times in a row to the point that I'd end up churning a whole bunch. Obviously 2 weeks ago it did, but for the most part, these are just another set of accounts that I can pick up and trade in, what word am I looking for here? Alongside the other accounts I'm already trading. But I agree wholeheartedly that trailing intraday drawdown is extremely predatory, which, funny enough, Top Step actually just added this week.
Really?
They did.
Wow.
They're not fun to trade, that's for sure. I'd much rather trade on an account that has.
I get 10K static drawdown on my accounts.
Yeah, I'd much rather do that. I've never traded a static account, so that means when you open it, you have 10,000. It doesn't move in a day.
Correct. Stays at
getting another coffee.
Yeah.
Very small ID sizes today. That's an understatement. You need a microscope to see these.
Yeah.
So
nothing. You back at the high Zinc.
Yeah, SPY already took the high. ES also did, MES. So that was a true wick. It wasn't a slippage one or a random wick on SPY. This is also done for the day. Okay, a little update from prop firms on the American side. Your FTMO is probably fine. Friday is an observed holiday. This is from My Funded Futures. Lucid also posted the same thing earlier today. My Funded Futures, Friday is an observable holiday by the CME and My Funded Futures. We'd like to inform you the upcoming adjusted trading support hours. So Good Friday trading hours already covered 9:15. The market's closed, 9:15 ET. So the market futures market won't even come to that 9:30 open. We'll have NFP. NFP will be done probably moving at like 8:45, and then the market's closed at 9:15. If you're requesting payouts, those will not be processed until Monday. Trades executed between 6 p.m. tonight and 9 a.m. on Friday will be counted as separate trading days. That's up to the discretion of the firm. And then pretty much everything, Discord and support channels, those will be operational on regular hours. So rest of the day, Friday, they'll still be up, but Saturday, Sunday, they won't. So if you guys are requesting a payout on Friday, it won't be processed until, or even tomorrow night, it won't be processed until Monday.
Someone's asking, James, do you have unlimited time to pass the eval? Yes, unlimited time, as much as you want. And then what CFD prop firms use, James? At the moment, I'm just using FTMO. So that's a prop firm I've been using. They've been around since 2015. I like their rules, works for me. Go do your own research. You always got to say that, bro. Like,
I like that.
I know, because then people will be like, well, I got this and I didn't get my payout or whatever.
Tradeify and Lucid actually just transitioned to one-time payments too, James. So no more monthly on those.
No, so yeah, I get payouts on my accounts every 2 weeks, as long as I'm above the initial balance. Zinc, so I can be $300 above the initial balance. I can take 80% of the profits that I made every 2 weeks.
I didn't mean that one. I meant when you buy the account, you don't have to pay monthly for it anymore.
Oh, okay. So it's like once off. Yeah.
Yep. Same as FTMO, it sounds like.
Yeah. Sick. Nice.
I haven't tried the Alpha Future Zero accounts yet. Alpha, I don't really like too much because you only can trade 3 accounts. I like ones that you can copy trade 5.
Thoughts on the funded trader? They're still around. No, that ended up being a massive rug pull.
That's the one I was talking about. That's the one that.
What was that one?
No, that's a different one. You're thinking of. I know which one you're thinking of, Zinc. I know which one. That guy that's really. I know which one you're speaking of. Yeah. It's not that one. This is another FTF. One on the CFD side. Yeah, I know which one. Yeah, TFT. That's the one. Yeah, the guy spent all the money on Rolexes and cars.
Yeah, and then he just dipped.
Yeah. Then he came back to Twitter and thought everyone would be like, chilled. Like,
everyone would forget.
Yeah.
Who is this?
It was I think it's TFT or FTF. I don't know what I only see it as that. My Forex funded MFF. Yeah. I don't remember, but all these payouts got canceled and they were backlogged for like 2 weeks, and the CEO just ended up leaving.
Is this the guy that used to trade with like 40
fast
minis?
track trading? There you go, FTT.
No, never mind. I don't know.
Someone's asking. Yeah, no, my Forex funds actually didn't flop. They actually got investigated by the CFTC. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Which prop firms do you use? It's FTMO. Right now, I'm just using FTMO on my side. Yeah.
What was the one that just they came from 4x to futures, and then they ended up closing the futures down.
Oh, that was.
I think their CEO's Khalid.
That was funding.
Just so everyone knows, edgeful has zero affiliation with any prop firm in any capacity at all. So we're not recommending anything. We're not saying that this one is the best or not. To be extremely clear, edgeful, company edgeful, has no affiliation to any prop firm at all. To be clear.
Edgeful's the
yeah,
best.
I agree. Do your own research. Everyone's got their own prop firms that I want to use. Like Zinc loves Lucid. I love FTMO. Do your own research. 100%.
I don't know. The FTMO seems kind of sketchy.
Yeah, they work with South Africans, right? They must be sketchy.
That Daniel Chang guy doesn't seem to like him too much.
Oh goodness, I've never had an issue, bro.
The whole point of prop firm trading is to get money to put into your personal account, and then you can continue to use edgeful.
Yeah.
And trade it for as long as you'd like, with no intraday or end of day trailing drawdown.
Yeah.
Prop firms aren't usually. They're not really around that long. I think.
Yeah.
Trade Top Step's been the longest for like 13 years.
That's so crazy to me because like 13 years ago, who was using that?
No one. They really the past 6 years maybe.
Yeah.
If even that, maybe the past 3 years.
Should we do this?
Edgeful funded trading. Trailing intraday drawdown with $250 of drawdown available per account. That's what we'd launch.
Trailing intraday, yeah. With
$250 available, and the accounts are going to cost $500.
And unlimited position size.
Yeah, trade 30 minutes if you want to.
Yeah. What else?
Mark, you were asking if I took the orb trade. I haven't had a trade in the New York session. I took a trade pre-market on NASDAQ longs. Other than that, I've been flat. I don't really like this grindy wiki price action. So no, nothing for me, bro. I mean, you could have probably taken longs off the opening range low on ES with the VWAP, with the orb. That's the way I trade. But I mean, sorry, Zinc, let me just show my screen.
Yeah, good.
On ES, this is, look at this crap. This is not the style of trading or trade that I want to be in per se. You would have to go something like this, maybe as you get above New York session VWAP, and then you'd have to go stop at the lows. And yeah, you have a winner, but this type of price action is not for me.
Yeah.
Gold had a really good IB today.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that one retested 50% too. Perfectly. Look at that. That was your trade.
Yeah, but that's tough though. Look at that. If you that's such horizontal price action though.
Yeah.
You want to if you click on, you see where you have the candles at the top of your trading view, like it's
these ones?
to the right, the
bar style.
If you go to range, I'll do it on mine. I don't want you to screw up your
range in the bottom. I see it. Go ahead.
Are you doing it there?
No, you can take over.
I'll do it. Yeah, I don't want you to have to mess up your trading view. 1 sec.
I don't believe they have an algo based on order flow. No.
We do not have an algo based on order flow, but we are building new algos. And just so you know, anyone who has the algos now will always get all the new algos and all the improvements to the algos and all the features of the algos at their current price. So we're never going to, anything you get, you're always grandfathered. That applies to the base edgeful plan. As long as you stay a member, you will always get the new things that get added to the individual plan. So I just want to make that clear for you guys. So we've obviously added a ton of stuff. Anyone who is currently subbed will always get the current price. So when we raise prices, the prices will not go up for you. All right. So there was a concept. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but
I just realized our range today on NQ was 135 points. 145 points. Yikes.
If you look, so the way that the range bars work, and I think this is extremely confusing, to be honest, and I don't like to look at it this way, but pretty much a new candle only prints after price comes out of a certain range. So right here, I have it set to 100 ticks.
Mm-hmm.
Or
kind of the opposite of Heiken-Hashi.
Yeah, it's what is this again? I forget how this works. But like pretty much, if you look at the actual range, like the price ranges that were made, there was no move. It's just sitting in like consolidation the whole time. So if you were on GLD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at this, and now the only issue with these is that you need to kind of like know how to.
I'm glad you're doing this. I wouldn't have been able to.
I know, that's why I told you. I was like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go back to NQ for a second and go back to 1,000 or go back to 100. Oh my God, where was I just a second ago?
There's someone out there that actually uses this to trade.
I know a guy that does.
Not me.
Where is it? Okay, forget it. Never mind. Bye.
It's me trade said, how much time should we wait for entry after 1030? And then if stuck in consolidation, how much time should we hold that trade? This is a lot of intuition that goes into it, bringing it all the way back to the chicken sectors. Days like this, and you heard actually all three of us say that we didn't want to trade it because you're around long enough that you know when prices, especially within the 5-minute opening range for the first hour. I think we were in it for the first hour. Yeah, we didn't break it until 10:35.
Yeah.
You should be able to look at the chart and know this is not going to be a day that you want to have your foot on the gas. Now, for typical trades, anytime that IB hits the 50 after 10:30, sometimes even if it hits before 10:30, so like 10:23 and beyond, that's my rule. I'll enter the trade before the IB set. For the consolidation piece, if you're still within the midpoint of the IB and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you shouldn't be looking at the charts then. I would give it until probably 11, maybe 11:30 for the absolute latest, and then you can still kind of take the trade there. But today is a great example of just not taking it at all. So there's no reason for you to be looking at the chart, worrying about, is the IB going to go and hit the 50? Is it going to break today? This should be, as you saw from all three of us in here, I think James probably called it out first. This is a day that you don't want to trade. You don't want to put your foot in the gas. You don't want to risk, especially if you're up like James was, you don't want to risk the profit that you're holding on the day because of a subpar move for a day like this. Which, of course, now we're starting to get a continuation to the upside, but you get the point.
I'm going to have to drop. I have a call at 11.
There you go. Good. We'll do the giveaway here, James and I.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
See you, Andre.
Cheers, brother.
How does this work now with the recording, though?
It's on my end, so it'll be recorded.
I hope so. All right. Are you sure?
Yeah, you can leave it up. Yeah, you can leave.
All right.
Mine recorded all 6 last time. We were all live. It'll be fine. All right, make sure you guys are commenting edgeful to enter the giveaway. Just one time. If you've already commented it, you don't have to. We have 186 entries right now. So just the word edgeful, as you see on screen.
Last time I put us in Zinc, I don't know why.
Maybe we were just space holders. I didn't comment anything.
Yeah.
It could be that we put comment edgeful TV and it had that phrase in it.
Maybe.
There you go, Sam. Nice. I don't know how you made that profit today, but congratulations to you. It's gonna be a difficult day to close the screen down for a lot of you, but need to. All right, now if you do win the giveaway, you email edgeful or hello@edgeful.com they will reach back out to you with that free month. You need to send a picture of your YouTube login or whatever you're commenting on. That's your validation for entering the giveaway. We're going to give you guys another minute or two here to make sure everyone's typed in, entered.
Yeah, and then just to go over that, yeah, Mark. So I was protecting profits. I would say this is a trade that I could have taken from the opening range low to the opening range high, but I'm up on the day and I didn't really like the price action, so I thought let me protect. Right.
Did I hear your algo ding?
The algo did go off. So, but that's not a discretional trade. That's the algo. Yeah.
How much profit is up right now? If it took it long, it's gonna be doing good.
Yeah, the algo is still running at the moment. Yeah.
Nice. It's gotta be like a 40-point trade. 50 maybe. It's a pretty nice move. All right, we'll go ahead and start the drawing on this. It is 11. We'll do our first one here. Again, I'll post this in chat. Email hello@edgeful.com with a screenshot of your login. All right, first winner. Not sure how to pronounce that. EvdRS08. It'd be pretty cool if that was a RuneScape name. Let me get Slack back open so I can comment all of these or add all these into the back end. Again, email it hello@edgeful.com with a screenshot of your YouTube login. Needs to match this name, and that's how you get your giveaway. This is the easiest way for us to do it. So there's one. We'll do another one here. Draw again. The Edgeful account was on there. All right, Grub 715. Another one. Much easier to pronounce. Add that in. Going right back to back again. Grub 715. Gold Digger 18. There's another one. We'll leave this up for about 10 seconds and we'll go ahead and pick the last two. Crazy Price is getting pretty nice continuation here. All right, last two. I saw your face on there again, James. Trying to rig it. Finest 2x 955. Congratulations. And then last one, we'll give it another little 5 seconds here. Raywolf, people talk in other chats as well, so this is copy streamed. You may not see some of the chats. And then last one, this will be number 5. So Mark pop up. Joe Pike 3861. There we go. I'll name off the 5 winners again. We had EvdRS08, Grub 715, Gold Digger 18, Finest 12x 955, and then Joe Pike 3861. Make sure you guys go and email hello@edgeful.com with a screenshot of your YouTube page. That will get you your 1 month. So congratulations to those 5 winners. Just sent that over to the back end. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Again, the market is closed on Friday. James and I will be live again tomorrow, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
For tomorrow's price action, I probably won't be trading it personally. I will be covering everything the same as we did today. NFP is on Friday still, even though the market's closed. I don't trade before NFP. And then we'll just have the same nice little educational stream, or maybe we will take a trade tomorrow. We'll see. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Sounds good, Zinc. Good stream.
Yep. Absolutely. See ya.